Greetings, fellow adventurers. Timberwolf here, another Diablo 4 adventure. Today I'm going to go over boss farming 101. So basics here on how to farm them as quickly as possible. And obviously for most experienced gamers, this is all nothing new. For newbies who, just got in there and you're like, what is happening? And, honestly, it's not quite as point and click anymore when it comes to new games as far as explaining like how all the mechanics work. And so there's something in here in Diablo 4 called the Dungeon Reset that a lot of new gamers might not know anything about until somebody else tells them or they stumble upon it themselves. And it's a very vital mechanic because it saves you a whole lot of time and trouble. So let's get into it. Right now, today, I'm farming Varshan, who's over next to the Tree of Whispers. And as a barbarian, the reason I'm farming him is I want a better ring of Red Fuhrer than I've got now. The one I've got is not bad, but I want a 925. I want the best one I can find. Obviously, I'm still working on my character, making him as tanky and powerful as possible so I can thrash Lilith later. And so I want to make sure all the gear I have is the best gear I can find. And Varshan's the one that drops them. So here's the Tree of Whispers, right? Which is out here in Hauzar, up in the northern area. And just kind of jump on that. And then hop on in here, the Malignant Burrow. Now you're going to need, when you're in Torment, you're going to need a Malignant Heart, a Quivering Hand, a Bone, and a Head. You're going to need all 4 parts. If you're in Nightmare, you don't need the heart. These things, of course, all can be farmed in different areas. I farm most of them in the Blood Ritual area, the Vampire area. There's always bosses dropping them there. It's a great place to grab them. Or you could actually, there's online resources now where you can actually buy these things too. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of them I've collected because I haven't been bothering with Varshan. And then finally I'm like, oh, you know what? I do want a better ring, so here I am. So now before we jump in and start fighting them, I wanted to show you a couple other things when it comes to barbarians. A couple of mechanics that they talk about, specifically with barbarians are, well, it's not specific to barbarians, but very crucial for this particular class, is fortified and overpowered. So if you look right now on the left, obviously you've got the health meter, which is the big red orb, and then the smaller orb is the Fury, which is a resource, right? So fortify is there's several skills the barbarian has, as well as a vampire power called Sanguine Brace, which fortifies your health. So what that means is, as you're fighting enemies, depending upon what type of skills you use, you can actually get another layer of health above your existing health. So you're going to see like a different color red blood start to fill in over the red orb. When that is full, basically for that brief moment, you have double health. You are considered fortified. And so certain skills you have, as well as certain orbs and certain paragon, runes on the paragon board will allow you to do more damage. So it says, 22% more damage while fortified, 44, whatever. So you can do a percentage more damage when you're fortified, right? The other is overpower. So overpower is an extra amount of damage you do based on the difference between your fortified health and your full health. So both of those are very, very important for barbarians. So you want a couple of skills that will fill that meter up, right? And basically draw health from your enemies. And for the barbarian, I found some very useful ones are this one here, which is Undying, which gives you health every time you attack, as well as Hemomancy. That also does that. So combining those together, along with the Sanguine Brace, which also increases your Fortify ability, That allows that fortify to fill up quicker, and then what that's going to do is allow me to do more damage. Also, being fortified also gives you more critical hits power if you have the Sanguine Brace. So there's another bonus here. So hop on in, drop the little bits and pieces, and here he goes. I've definitely progressed as far as my power is concerned. Barbarian is very tanky now. Varshan is really not doing much of anything. So, although, unfortunately, I'm not really getting fortified here because he's done whacking me, so that's keeping that health meter from going above and beyond. But at least I'm staying alive. So. And I have a particular power here that I found of an aspect that causes me to burst into flames every time I'm in fury. So I find that very helpful here because it creates that fire aura around me, and it damages anything near me. So that's, as you can see, I made quick work of this guy. So now I collected everything I had. No Ring of Red Fuhrer as of yet. I do have a bunch of other things I picked up from them. Gore's Devastating Grips. Those would be great if I was a Whirlwind Barbarian, but I'm not. I'm a Hammer of the Ancients, so that's not going to be any use to me. This Fields of Crimson's a nice sword if you use Rupture. I do not, so that's nothing. Also nothing useful, so whatever. No ring yet, so obviously I've got to do it again. So back in the day, I would just leave the game and come back, right? Well, you don't need to do that. All you've got to do, if you want to reset that dungeon, open up your map, hit the left arrow, and see that little pink square button at the bottom, Reset Dungeons, hold it down. Are you sure you want to reset all dungeons, including Nightmare Dungeons? Da-da-da-da. Click Accept. And then just back out of here, just hit the circle twice to go back.
Not while I'm in town.
And now Varshan's back, and all the baddies are back in there, and you can do it again. So you didn't have to quit the game and then jump in another server and hop back in. All you got to do is do that, and you're good to go. Feel free to back up if you need to and rewatch that again. And so right now, so I'm hitting all this. Now see that? Look at over there in the health meter. Notice how it's filling up? So it's fortifying. So now I'm going to be able to do overpower damage, because I've got that health is, above my original health. So depending upon how much that is determines how much overpower damage I'm going to do. I may not be fortified. I don't think it's quite high enough for me to be fortified. I think I have to have it completely full. But still, I'm going to be doing more damage for a little bit until he wears me down. That is, it won't take long. Then again, I don't know. I think I'm holding on here pretty well. So this means he's going to die much quicker now, because we're holding on to that fortified health by all the health restoring abilities that I've got with the vampire powers. So that's cool. Done deal. That's it. So that's a little trick you might want to do when you're farming this guy is beat up his buddies before you even make it to him. That way you get some of that fortify health, if you're a character that makes use of that. And honestly, depending upon what vampire powers you pick, all characters can use that, even if you're not a barbarian. So still got some room here, so I'm going to go ahead, reset the dungeon again. Obviously, you got to always make sure you have enough summoning components. That's the real key. Now, another thing about Varshan is he's dropping the slimy eggs, which is one of the 2 components you need to summon Duriel, who is everybody's favorite boss to farm. ever looking for the legendary Shaco, that's the only way you can get one, Burial. Well, I mean, not technically. You could got like a 1/1,000,000th of a chance, I guess, to get one just by any drop or any chest, but Burial's the most common way to get those. Got some 45 damage, not quite as high as I had last time. 400,000 damage, one hit, that's not bad. Definitely still not strong enough to one-hit shot Lilith, so I've got to keep on working on me. With another 4 levels to go, I should have at least another 8 Paragon points left to use, and I just got to make sure I use those strategically to make sure I focus on damage at this point, because health-wise, I'm all set, I'm good. Not to mention, health isn't really important in the Lilith fight, because we just want to kill her before she has a chance to hit us back. Because one thing we all know is that she's the easiest of all bosses, and if you let her hit you, you're done. Doesn't really matter how strong you are. Okay, gonna reset again. Map, left, hold square, accept. Circle, circle, hop back in. The only reason I couldn't defeat Duriel this way is because of that poison that they spit. If all he did was try to hit me with his claw, I'd probably just stand there and fight him the same way I'm doing Varshan. But his little buddy spitting poison at you, that's a problem. There goes my fortifying. Be a longer fight at all.
I'm not ready yet.
Did you see that second there where those two his team rushing right in? That was caused by that was triggered by the shot tornado. That's why that happened there. Oh, well look at that. Varshan's affected by our vampire curse. That's cool. Still no ring. Got the boots this time. Those I have no use for either. Unless they're penitent greaves. I'm considering possibly using those, although I don't think Varshan drops those. I think those are Gregoire that drops those. Alright, let's see. Yeah, 100,000 steps is what he keeps dropping, which are no good. Might keep those wraps though, I have no idea why. Maybe at some point I'll make try out a whirlwind bar. I'm always recycling everything I get.
How can I help? Don't ruin all that work.
Because I know those will come in handy when the next season comes in. Because then we're going to, starting all over again. So, anyways, that's about it. So I just wanted to bring those things up. just to maximize your own experience here, I'm going to continue farming, and until the next adventure.